All right, guys, good morning. Welcome again to another analysis and review video for the NAS 100. This week, the trading week will start this evening at December 8th, and it will run through December 13th. So before we begin, as usual, I'll just pray. God, we just thank you again for another opportunity to trade and to discuss and to review or trading strategies for the upcoming week. I ask that you will be to anyone watching this video. May it be helpful to them, and may we all be successful again this week. We thank you and we love you. Amen. All right, guys. So before I begin, I just want to let you guys know that if you would like to see how I set up my support and resistance lines, you can always refer to the video that's entitled NAS100 Detailed Weekly Setup. And excuse me, it was for the period 11/24 to 11/29. In that video, it's a little bit longer because I actually show how I draw my support and resistance lines, how I set my weekly boundaries so that I'm able to actually see the market on a day-to-day basis and to be able to make adjustments and to also fine tune my entries. So you can always search that video on YouTube and you'll be able to see how I set up my strategy. Okay, quick review of last week. This was my chart for last week when it ended. Um, as you know, this is the weekly boundary. The blue lines are my weekly boundaries. This is where the price actually started from, and this is where it ended on Friday. So this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This is on the 5 hour time frame, and the reason why this is on my 5 hour time frame, as you will notice from previous videos, my my fib my fibs was drawn on my 5 hour because this was the high point, this was the low point, and I'm basically trading the higher lows to the higher highs until it gets to the expansion zones. So that's the reason for that. So looking at that, when I drop down to a time frame like the 1 hour, you will see a more detailed breakdown as to what happened on each day. Monday we had a higher low. Tuesday we had a higher low. Um, on Wednesday we had a higher low. We also had a low. Um, we also had a low on Friday and a higher low to complete the week on Friday afternoon's trade. Now, you would have noticed that last week, early in my commentary, I mentioned to you, I highlighted some preferred zones. Okay. This is where I would like the price to go. This is where would be an ideal buy entry for me. Okay. But you also would have noticed in my videos that I always say to you that I take my trades based on the largest higher low. Okay. And also that my bias is always towards the bullish side. Okay. Because the market is historically bullish. Now, what that means is if the market is making higher lows, higher highs, which we clearly see it's doing, if I set an entry point and I say, okay, I would like the price to go here, and the price does not come here, but instead it creates another higher low on my larger time frames. Okay, it simply means I am taking the trade because it has been validated by this higher low right here. So I don't need to wait for the price to come here if I see that the price is making a higher low. Remember, the price is making a higher low, meaning that each time when it makes a low, it's always going to fall higher. Okay. So although I say this is my preferred zone, if the price does not come here, based on my analytical tools that I'm using, then by all means, I'm going to be taking the trade. Now, remember, guys, I'm not a signal service. I'm not going to be sitting down babysitting anybody to say, okay, fine, this is where you're going to enter. This is where you're going to exit. It's about learning a strategy. And the strategy is trading the trend, moving from higher lows to higher highs. So yes, I had my highlighted zones here, However, you would have noticed that on Monday, I didn't actually take this trade because I was expecting it to actually go down to this zone. So I didn't take the trade. Okay, so I waited. Price came up. I saw that it made a higher high. That's confirmation that this trend is still valid. Okay, then on Tuesday, it came down. It made a higher low right here, which tells me this low is higher than this low, it's higher than this low, it's higher than all the previous lows. So what that says to me, and also we're not even looking at the fact that each time when it made a higher low, it always came back and made a higher high. And that is one of the reasons why I say I can guarantee all my trades, because once I get in on a higher low, because I'm trading the trend and the trend is higher low to higher high, I am guaranteed that it will go ahead and break the all-time high again. All right. So it's not rocket science. It's information that's been out there. It's nothing new. It's just a matter of understanding what you're able to see on the chart by using the proper analysis tools. All right. So we saw that on Tuesday, Monday, it made a higher low. Tuesday, it made a higher low. Okay. Now this is the 1 hour. But remember, I trade every single time frame. So which means if I see what I'm looking for playing out on bigger time frames, then that's more validity in order for me to take the trade. So let's look at the 2 hour, for example. Last week, again, notice this higher low that was created on the 1 hour did not register on the 2 hour. However, it just continued pushing the high from the previous week even higher. It wasn't until Tuesday that we saw a higher low here on the 2 hour time frame, which is more valid that, okay, fine, this higher low on the 2 hour is even higher than the higher lows that were created on the 1 hour. So that's a valid indicator for me. Okay. Looking also, so let's say I didn't take this trade on Tuesday and I'm still waiting because I want to see the biggest higher low. Look at what happens on the 3 hour. The 3 hour actually did not put a higher low on until Friday. So even if I missed all of these moves, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, notice at the end of Thursday, the beginning of Friday was when the 3 hour put its higher low. And that was one of the trades that I actually took last week. Okay, notice higher low went up, it made a higher high. It's not rocket science, guys. So that's just in terms of a review of last week, what really happened. It was just simple. The market was just making higher lows, higher highs. So all of those people who were calling for sells from Friday who actually went in on sells. If you stayed in the sell, you would have lost big time. Okay. Notice I've always said I'm expecting a retracement for a higher low to be created. However, I am not trading, I'm not selling towards that higher low. I am waiting. So the bigger the time frame that registers that higher low is the more confirmation I'm going to be getting. All right. So that was pretty much it for last week. The market, as you clearly saw, made a series of higher lows, higher highs on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, played out on the 2 hour. Last thing that played out on the 3 hour was, again, it made a higher low. Look at the 4 hour. No higher lows were created for the entire week. That market just kept buying. However, the higher lows that you're seeing, okay, are reflected on the 1 hour, the 2 hour, and the 3 hour time frames. Okay, so that was just it in terms of review. Now for this week, what am I expecting for this week? Well, pretty simple. This is my chart for this week. All right. Notice I'm still using my fibs from my 5 hour. Okay, because again, the trend is higher low to higher high. Okay, this was the largest low that was created, essentially a higher low on the 6 hour. Notice it came up, it made a lower high, bit of consolidation that we saw over the past number of weeks, made a lower high. This is a consolidation move. It came back down and it made a higher low, which is still the trend move, because remember, your trend is higher lows to higher highs. Notice what it did. It came, it broke this consolidation point, and it just kept going. So the higher lows always transfer to your higher highs. So that's your trend. So that's the reason why this fib is still valid, because the price has not gotten to my expansion zones as yet. It has broken 100%, it has broken 110%, and it's going, it broke and closed above these zones. So that's enough to tell you that the trend is going to continue. And again, I will say my buys are guaranteed because I'm trading the trend. It's higher lows to higher highs. My largest higher low to my largest, to the higher highs, which is now going to be an all-time high. All right. So here we go. For this week, what am I expecting? Now, on Friday, I closed the week. I actually had an entry in on Friday. Guess what? The swap is going to get you once you trade on a Friday, but that's okay. Okay. Now you may say, why am I entering a buy here and the price is at a high point? Okay, fair question. Remember, the trend is higher lows to higher highs. So you don't see a higher low here, the price is at a higher high. However, what you do, and you're not doing any form of evaluation or analysis on your smaller time frames. I already see what the trend is doing from the bigger time frame. Now I'm looking for entries. So here we go. Price is at an all-time high. Okay. And if the trend is higher low to higher highs, all I'm looking for is my biggest higher low to be able to re-enter this market. Because when you look at your largest time frame, you have to look at your last 2 points. It's a higher high and a higher low, which means price is moving higher lows to higher highs. Okay. Here's your zag point. Here's your zig point. When it comes back down to a higher low, that's a zag point, and you're going to your next zig point. So what I did was I came down. My 1 hour, notice it's trading at a high also. My 50-minute is also trading at a high. Remember, I took this entry before session closed on Friday because I understood that the trend was extremely strong. All right. Now, if you go and you look at your 5-minute, which is what my entry was based on, okay? I came in over here, not here. I came in right here at this line because I saw that it was making higher lows and it had registered a higher low already. So with this retracement, it's still at a higher low. Notice price came up, I'm in profit at a higher high. Okay, it came back down, it made a higher low below my entry. Came up, it made a lower high. Okay, came back down, rested. This is where it ended, right at my entry point. So I'm basically break even on this trade right now. As a matter of fact, it's in a little bit of profit and everything. However, remember, your trend is higher lows to higher highs. You're not using your small time frames to make decisions as to where the trend is going. Because remember, I've always said your smaller time frames will actually show that structure has been broken towards the downside in order to fulfill the largest higher low. Okay. So here we go. I have this higher low, I'm in. I know that this market is going to continue going. Okay. A number of reasons that I'm using to make that determination. All right. Last week, remember, I shared a chart with you, which I'm going to pull up right now. I shared a chart last week that did a comparison between last year, this period between October to November, going all the way through the new year. All right. So I'm going to pull it up for you right now. I have it saved. Let's see if this is it. So I have it saved. I want to pull it up so I'll show you exactly what's going on. Here we go. This is the chart. Now, you'll notice last year, these are my points right here. Okay, this was October 31st, and this was January 1st. Okay, right here, October 23rd, this was when the lowest point was made up until this point. Look at what the market did all the way through November. Okay, it made a new high, made another higher low, went to a higher high, and it's been making higher lows, higher highs ever since. So which means if you came in at this particular date last year, October 23, okay, you could have still been in this trade up until today, no losses. You could have just left it, okay? Look at what's happening for this year. Here we go. This is the end, last day of October, which is this red candle right here. Market made a low. Notice what it has been doing since. It has been making higher lows, higher highs since. In order to see these higher lows, you have to move down to smaller time frames. So, like, this is the day. Let's look at the 4-hour, for example. On the 4-hour, here you go. We have the low that was created. It made a high, made a higher low, it made a lower high, it made a low. However, this low is still higher than the previous new low. Look at what it has done since. Came up, made a lower high, bit of consolidation. Came back, it made another higher low, and now we have broken the all-time high. So this market is expected to continue on its bullish run. All right. So enough of that. Here we go for this week. So we're back on this week again. And this is the chart that I have here. Let me just find my 5-hour. Okay. So let's reset this a bit. So look at this. This was on this high, and this fib was created based on November 11. Okay. The low that was used was made on November 19. This low, excuse me, is higher than this low. Okay. This high is higher than this high. That tells you that the market is in fact making higher lows, higher highs. And that is why my bias is still towards the bullish side. It's nothing complicated this week. The market is just doing what the market does. It's in trend. It's going with the trend. It's just waiting on your largest higher lows and just taking them. And just know that once you take your largest higher low, you can leave your trade and your trade will be okay. All right. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you real quick, on the bottom right-hand corner of my screen, this is some additional data that TradingView has issued to help with analysis. I know that on the premium account, you will actually get that as a part of your analysis tools. I'm not sure on the smaller accounts, but what I wanted to highlight for you, TradingView actually did this for you. It's showing you 2024, 2023, 2022. So the current year and the previous 2 years. And you can also get more seasonal data by going here, and it shows you everything that the market has been doing. Now, you'll notice that in 2022, the market was down by 33.62%. Okay. However, what you would have noticed is that 2021, it was up by 28%. 2024 is actually, this is the thick blue line right here. If you notice on 2024, it's actually on target to actually exceed even 2023 levels. And 2023 actually was a 55.02% gain for the entire year on the market. 2020 was 45%. So if you're looking at the trends, you will notice that the market is in fact trending towards the bullish side. Okay. The other thing that you want to look at is where we are in the month, in the year, based on where we were the 2 previous years. So 2022 was just one of those years where the market, as we know, took a hit, but it still did not start to make lower highs, lower lows. It made a higher low, I think, on monthly time frame, and then it has been buying since. So the market did in fact rebound. It rebounded last year, 2023, okay, to much higher levels. This year, it's trending below where 2023 was. However, if you look at the graph, you'll see that it's still trending towards the upside. This was 2022 trending down, but it stopped at the end of the year, okay, and then it resumed its upward momentum for 2023 and now in 2024. So I just wanted to take some time to just highlight that fact real quick. The other thing, excuse me, the other thing that I want to point out for reference, remember, this is the beginning of the year. I mean, sorry, beginning of a new month, okay, which means last week, Sunday, there are a number of every candle below the monthly and below, every single candle had a reset, which means they all started new candles. So the monthly started a new candle, the weekly, the daily, the 23-hour, all the way down to the 1 second time frame. Everything had a reset on Sunday, 6 p.m. last week, Sunday. Okay, how does that play out? Well, let's go to our monthly time frame. You will look at the monthly time frame and you will notice, and I'm going to take these lines out just so we can see it better. Okay, this was where last month ended. See, last month, November. This has been December. Guys, there is no bearish momentum in this market. Everything is towards the bull side. The market started out like this. Yes, it may get some exhaustion towards the end of the month, but trust and believe when I tell you this is a bullish market and there's no need to try and sell a bullish market. Just wait for your higher lows and buy them to your higher highs. It's as simple as that. Okay, we're in this game to make money. That's our aim, to make money and to be successful on the chart. There's no need to make it hard. I think the problem is for some people is that if it looks too easy, something has to be wrong with it. Guys, if you study and you practice, things will become easy. It definitely will become easier. And this is clear right here. This is what is showing on the monthly time frame. The market is in fact making higher lows to higher highs. So I just wanted to highlight that for you. All right. So in closing, what are we looking for this week? Well, as you can see, this was the 1 hour for last week. This was Sunday. This right here is going to be Sunday this afternoon. This is where it ended on Friday. Clearly, you came in here, you took this higher low on Monday, you could have just left it. It would have been the easiest trade that you would have made. Now, look at it. How many pips did the market move last week? From this point all the way up to the all-time high, the final all-time high that it ended on Friday, that was about 7,000 pips. Okay. Wow. Who couldn't use 7,000 pips? I mean, depending on your lot size, that would have been, you know, a stellar week for you. I know that some people have commented, you know, privately and otherwise and said, you know, how the strategy has helped them. I'm glad for it. Please use the information that I'm sharing to develop your own strategy. I'm not a signal provider. I don't ask for subscribers. I don't sell a course. I don't do anything. All of this is just the knowledge that I'm sharing, that I've gained. This is knowledge that has been there. It's knowledge that has been out there. However, the knowledge is there, but you have to take it, make your own strategy from it so that it makes sense to you and what you're trading. So I encourage you guys this week to keep practicing. You know, like I said, trade the easy trades. Take your higher lows to your higher highs because that's what the market is giving you. And once you do that, I guarantee you that the market will make you profitable because it always makes higher lows to higher highs. The sooner you realize that, the better your trading experience is going to be. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And one last note, many people have said, well, oh, you only know to trade the NAS100 and everything like that. Okay, guess what? My strategy works on every pair. However, I'll tell you this much. Common sense is not common because if I can make all my profits trading one instrument, learning one instrument. Why do I need to learn 10? I absolutely don't need to, to learn 10 pairs or to focus on 10 pairs in order to be successful. Because I'll tell you this, do an experiment. You trade 10 pairs for the entire week. Okay, I trade my one NASDAQ. And if you can make 100% on your account by trading those 10 pairs, okay, and I can make 100% trading one pair, why am I going to bother my head trading 10 when I can do the same thing on one? All right, so I just leave that nugget with you. So I hope that this week is going to be as successful as it was for last week. And if you had some mistakes, and I'm sure you will have mistakes as you go along, that's a part of the learning process. Don't be discouraged. Brush yourself off, go back, redo your analysis, do your reviews, and apply the new things that you have learned to your strategies so that you can actually become much better. So thank you again for watching. And God, we just thank you again for this blessing and for this opportunity for us to analyze and to go through different strategy methods. I pray that this week will be a successful week again for all those people who are interested in learning. We thank you for your blessing and for your goodness. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.